Welcome to my car and train channel. I've owned this Ferrari 308 quattro valvole, so 4 valves. As the Italian would say, the Ferrari. I've owned it for about 6 years and I'm going to share with you a lot of details, especially if you are an interested buyer and you don't have a lot of experience. You may have some book knowledge, but I would like to share with you what I've been learning about the car. Let's look around. Engine running. So, the Quattro Valvole is the 3rd edition speaking about engines, about the 308. It started with the carbureted version, which was delivering 255 horsepower in Europe, followed by the 308i for injection, which lost a lot of power, around 214 horsepower in Europe, and followed with the 4 valves, the Quattro Valvole, which gained back some of the power at 240 horsepower. What is important to know is that this is a beautiful design made by Pininfarina, one of the most beautiful design that he ever delivered for a Ferrari. But if you are looking for a daily driver or reliable car, I would not buy a 308. The reliability is not as great. I've owned a Porsche 911. They are much more reliable. But if you want to fall in love with the Ferrari brand, with a car which is closer to a go-kart and a head turner, this is definitely a car that needs to be on your bucket list. Let's go look inside the car now. Very unique handles. And now we are going to slide inside. As you can see, there is a very low clearance. So you are getting in the car almost as a foot in a shoe. Before entering the car, let's look at the beautiful catalog from the period. You can see here my collection of catalogs. You know, it goes from the BB 512, the 400, the Mondiale. I have kind of all. I also have those user manual, and I feel bad because actually they were in my 2 dad's Ferraris and he kept them at home, and when he sold the cars, they stayed at home, but today they are part of my collection. So let's go inside this beautiful catalog. Interesting to see that we start by a blue Ferrari 308. Here we go. Is it? No. I knew that there was a poster here. Let's enjoy the view. Another one with the luggage. And then finally, the technical specifications. Just want to show the famous toggle switch that you see on the catalog. This one is the set of suitcases that go in the car. There is one for the 308 This is a slightly later one with the 328, 412, the Testarossa. But now let's go inside the car. It's not a car with a lot of switches and dials. Things are fairly regrouped. Most of the information is here in front of you. Typically, if I adjust the camera to my eyesight, unfortunately, I am losing the information which is on the two upper small quadrants. So I need always to lower a little bit myself on the seat to be able to read the temperature and the gas tank. The second portion of the information is here, and basically this is it. So perhaps the most beautiful mechanical thing in the Ferrari is the gearbox shifting system. The grid is extremely accurate. Again, to compare with the Porsche 911 of that era, it's a very, very precise transmission, which is really a pleasure to maneuver. Dogleg, so first here, and then you have your second, third, and as you can see, it's very, very firm. Some other commands are here. You can see on the upper right the air conditioning and all the vents command that are on the back below the handbrake. The air conditioning ducts, the radio, which is not original, but I have the original and I am planning to install it. And here are the commands for the side mirrors. And this is it. You know, as I told you, not a lot of switches and gauges. It's all about the driving experience. In the front, you have the spare tire, the reservoir for the windshield wipers, and really an accessory that I like a lot, which is the quick disconnect for the battery. So when you leave the car garage for a while, you quick disconnect here and then you have no battery drain. This is a mid-engine, so it's very good for the weight balance. The car is close to a 50-50, so that means that the engine is mounted before the rear axles. And here you have the trunk where you put your different luggage, and it's well protected. This is a Targa version. That means that the roof can be removed. Actually, when you remove it, you put it behind the two seats. A lot of cars were produced in the mid-80s as, and I said Targa, actually it's a Spider version. Targa is more the Porsche name, whereas Spider is the Ferrari name. So I was saying a lot of cars were produced in Spider because the cars from the 70s had very little convertible and Spider, and those versions, convertible and Spider, were driving a price increase compared to the coupe model. So the market, a lot of people bought the Spider not because they were interested, but they just thought that the resale value would be higher. And today, when we are speaking about 2020, the 2020 decade, actually the coupe, so without the removable roof, command a higher price than the Spiders. Below the video you have a link to an affiliate website where you can find some very good books about the 308 Ferrari. A very good book that I had when I was a teenager and I was dreaming about those cars. Here are the pages about the 308, GTB, GTS. So that was the beginning of that series. Thank you for watching this video. I have many more buyer's guides on my Car and Train channel.